All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Tauzy Presents Tricks of the Trade. Getting a mic check from somebody. Somebody in chat, tell me if I sound good. Let me know. We will start this up. We're going to be talking about Chapter 4 of the DMG today, and I'll be making some monsters, and I'll be answering some questions. Check, check. You good, Trey? Sounds solid. Awesome. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome to Chapter 4 of the DMG. Welcome to Tricks of the Trade. Just some announcement before we begin. Thank you all for subbing. If you're watching this, that means you're just checking out or you've subbed to the channel. If you can, please sub to Tauzy Presents. Consider recurring subs to us, and if you have an Amazon account, you get a free subscription. For all my subs, thank you for being a part of the community. Appreciate it. All right, so let's get some questions first, because we have a couple questions that I'll get to. Trey did ask, do you think Tunk and the Hunky Junks, that's the group that is playing Thursday nights, do you think Tunk and the Hunky Junks stand a chance at surviving the Tomb? They're playing the Tomb of Annihilation. Here's the deal, man. I'm a nice DM. I really, really am. Compared to other DMs out there, I'm a very nice DM. There are some DMs who I call ref DMs. They just they play as if there's just the module. They just play the module. They try not to put anything else into it. And if something's dangerous and it kills you, it's out of their hands. Their hands are washed and you die. I am not one of those DMs. I'm hands-on. I try to help you out through dark spots. But you know, I'm a nice DM, but you are playing the Tomb of Annihilation. It is one of the nastiest dungeons ever created by TSR Hasbro Wizard of the Coast. Although it was made long ago, inspired by the Tomb of Horrors. But this one's a lot better than Tomb of Horrors. I sound like a dude. Cool, man. I do sound like a dude. What's up, Ari? What's up, Jeremy? What's up, Trey? Hello, Penny Lane. All right. So that's one question. I think you will be able to survive the Tomb. There are deaths inside the Tomb. TBKs are rare even inside the Tomb of Annihilation. But it might happen. But there are safeguards against that, and if it does happen, that's okay. There are things to do if and when that happens. So it's okay if that happens. What up? What up, Ryan? How are you, buddy? If you have any questions, by the way, in chat, you can just write them in chat. I'm reading while we're doing this, so just ask away. Jeremy asks, maybe you already talked about this, but more monsters have on-attack effects. This feels like a plus, but there are worries to keep in mind. I wouldn't worry about it too much right now. I think it's more, they're trying to streamline like monster abilities, and they're trying to streamline, they started doing it actually in 2014, where some monsters would hit you, and they auto-grapple you. That's like a big thing in 2014 monsters. But now there's like auto-prone, or auto-poison, or there's just things that monsters do, and then something automatically happens. I have yet to really play with them a lot, but I think it's gonna be okay. It might drastically change like how many monsters you put in an encounter, because there's so many. Like, this effect definitely happens when this bear swipes you with a claw, you're falling down. You know, this wolf is gonna drag you to the ground, and his friends are gonna eat you because it has pack tactics. So it might just be deadlier right away, which is scarier, but ultimately, I think it'll be a good thing. I think it'll make things happen more, which is good for the game. Yeah. He also says, have you ever built a monster more for an escape? Straight up told the party you cannot defeat this foe. This encounter is about how to escape, survive. I would do those rarely, because people play D&D specifically to be heroes who kill things, who like overcome challenges most of the time by violence. People don't play D&D to run away. But if you're playing a horror game, or if you're playing a specific part of your game that you want to be horrific or terrifying, what I would do, instead of creating a monster, I would create like a force of nature. I would make it so that the monster doesn't have stats. If it has stats, it can be killed. If you stat the Tarrasque, people will kill it. And so instead I wouldn't stat it. I would just say, like, you know, this creature has this Titan thing I would also make it slow. I wouldn't make it like a very quick monster if it's chasing the PCs. But let me post that, by the way. I like when people post the questions. Copy. Yeah, I like that the things you make them different have more chance to just happen, but I'm not used to balancing. Yeah, that's kind of like we'll wait and see for on attack effects. We will have to wait and see. My guess is it'll be okay. But Jeremy asks again, you cannot defeat this foe. This encounter is about how to escape, survive. If so, how to go. How would you advise for building that monster? I would build a force of nature. I'd build a creature that has the hit point. It doesn't have hit points. If you're supposed to run, if there's no choice but to run, don't create something that can die. Yeah. I remember one encounter that there's a group had to escape because we just went there too early. That was before we streamed while playing Strahd. Yeah, I know what encounter you're talking about. Yeah, there's some things that are just way beyond you. So yeah, you do have to run. Yep. I mean, you don't have to. There's things you can do, but typically, yeah. You know, there's things you can do. You can forewarn them with like. In that Strahd, there's like ravens who basically tell you, get away from here. You shouldn't be here yet. You can, sorry, I'm all over the place. If you're doing a force of nature, don't have hit points. Instead, like if it's a gigantic Titan thing crawling towards you, and you hack off one of its fingers, 2 fingers grow in place of its fingers, and it just keeps coming. No matter what you do, it just keeps coming at you. So that will tell the players you have to find a different solution rather than your standard hack and chop. Yeah. I would not make a creature. If you make a creature, people will try to stab it. Make it feel like something else. That's my answer to that question. Okay, what else we got? Other questions? Any other questions, put them in the chat. I will get to them. We almost lost our dwarf. Yeah, you did. You almost lost your dwarf. It happens. The tomb is nasty. All right, let's get to the chapter 4 of the DMG, and then I will make a monster towards the end of the stream. All right, let's see if this works. Yeah, there we are. Ba-boom. All right, chapter 4, creating adventures. Woo-woo. Would it be bad to switch out 24 monsters with 2019 for Lost Mines? You mean 2014? No, do it. If they're playing 2024 player characters, they're playing more powerful characters. So they probably need more powerful monsters to fight. So I would switch them out. I don't switch out all of them, though. Some of the old ones, I'm kind of realizing I prefer. Some, but the mechanics of the new monsters are typically better. They typically have more hit points. They have better abilities. They do a little bit more damage. Yeah, so typically they're better. There's definitely a difference. And there's also like what they've done in the Monster Manual is what Monster Manual Expanded did, which is they're adding more levels to already existing, typically humanoid monsters. So you get goblins, you get goblin minions now, and you get goblin warriors, you get goblin shamans. They just delineate and give you more to play with within a monster spectrum. So that's very helpful. Oh, hey, Mike, I'm going to type a question. Okay, go ahead, type that question. Before I get to creating adventures, go right ahead. Does that answer your question, Ryan? I think it does, okay. I would also, if you're trying to DM, I would also get Monster Manual Expanded. It is awesome. It's my favorite of the Monster Manual splat books that they've come out with. It's even better than Creature Codex or Tome of Beasts, any of the Kobold Press books. Monster Manual Expanded is awesome. Since orcs are not in the Monster Manual, would making orc characters as player classes but lower level than the party be a good way to have orc enemies? I would just make orcs. Just put orcs in your game. It's so easy. Just put some orcs in your game. We did it. We made orcs in your Trey. We made orcs in your working on your one shot. Here are orcs. If you need help making orcs mechanically, here they are. AC 13, HP 15, attack +5 with a Great Axe, 1d12 +3 damage. They have an ability called Aggressive, which means they can move as a bonus action. They can dash as a bonus action. There. Those are orcs. I did that in less than 10 seconds. Those are orcs. You don't have to, it's okay that they didn't put orcs in the new monster manual. If you need bigger orcs, here's a quick idea for bigger orcs. If you need like an orc boss, plus 30 to 50 hit points, and it's got a +3 to everything else. Done. That's how you do orcs. Is it Wizard of the Coast? It's not. It is third party. Monster Manual Expanded is a third party book, but I highly, highly recommend it. Yeah. That's a good question, Trey. I'm just letting you know, like, it's not a, I wouldn't, you don't have to make a big thing of it. You just create orcs, or you just use the 2014 orcs, or use a Pathfinder orc, it's easy. That's what I would say to that. So get the new Monster Manual and that as well. I would recommend that. If you're just starting out, get the new Monster Manual and get Monster Manual Expanded from the 2014 rulebook. Those will give you awesome options. Because Monster Manual Expanded gives you, like, instead of wyverns, they give you ancient wyverns, or like dire owlbears, or just like crazy expanded. The idea is already there. They just make it bigger and broader. And yeah, I recommend it. Okay. Would you ever make an enemy creature by making a player character that the party fights against? Like as a boss or some stronger opponent? By making a player character that the party fights against? I've done that before. Yeah. If you come to like mirror, I've done this thing before where there's like a mirror that has a reflection of you, and then that reflection attacks you. So it's just the player as a boss. Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, you do it all the time. If your party's too strong, have them fight each other. It works. Shadow party, great. It's a great idea. Shadow party. Every JRPG has done it, which means it's a good idea. Like, have a shadow version of the player that you have to fight. And it's very easy to do because you can tell that player, kill the rest of the party. And you don't have to do any mechanical work. They'll do it for you. Done. All right, let's get into chapter 4. Chapter 4. All right, first off, we got a really rad stagecoach. Stagecoach looks like it's coming from, not Ravenloft, but something akin to Ravenloft. That could be Ravenloft. I mean, it's pretty badass. Mysterious Carriage. Oh, brings the vampire Strahd von Zarovich out from Castle Ravenloft. That is Ravenloft. Okay, cool. I like it. It does have the 2 towers in Ravenloft. Yep, there it is. Whether you're creating your own adventures, it does have the 2 central towers. Yeah. Whether you're creating your own adventures or published ones, this chapter helps you create fun and memorable experiences for your players. All right, here we go. Lay out the premise. Determine the situation or conflict that underscores the adventure. Also think about the adventure setting and what is unique and fun about it. Draw on the players, plan encounters, bring it to an end. This is the big one, folks. Bring it to an end. If you're worried, if you can't figure out how to create something, think about how you end it, and then go backwards. That'll help out a lot. How do you expect the adventure will end? Make an ending. That doesn't mean that that's exactly how they'll reach it. The how is the fun part. The how is the player part. But the ending can be written. Yeah? The set pieces of the ending can be written. Possible endings, right? Using published adventures. Basically, you should do this. Yes. Lay out the premise. Yes, indeed. It's worthwhile to compare an adventure to these other forms of storytelling. Remember that an adventure isn't a complete story until you play it. Your players are co-authors of the story with you, and the events of the story shouldn't be predetermined. The actions of the players' characters have to matter. For example, if a major villain shows up before the end of the adventure should allow for the possibility that the heroes defeat that villain. Yep, because you statted him. You gave it stats. Otherwise, players can feel as if they've been railroaded, set into a course that only has one destination or outcome, no matter how hard they try to change it. Yeah. You might find it helpful to think about an adventure not as a narrative that arcs from beginning to end, but with little chance for deviation, but more in terms of situations that you're presenting to the characters. Yeah, they're like roadblocks in different places. The adventure unfolds organically from the player's responses to the situations you present. Guide rails and railroads. Players need to feel like they're in control of their characters, their choices that they make matter, and what they do has some effect on the outcome of the adventure and on the game world. Keep that in mind as you're planning adventures. If your adventure relies on certain events, plan for multiple ways they might come about, or be prepared for clever players to prevent those events from happening as you expect. Otherwise, your players might end up feeling railroaded. On the flip side, players sometimes willfully disregard the adventure hooks you put in front of them and go entirely off the rails. See Respect for the DM in Chapter 1, or draw on the players later in the chapter for advice in dealing with the situation. One way to give player impactful choices is to keep multiple adventure possibilities available to them at the same time. This one's a big one. Yeah, that should be like highlighted. If you're worried about this, if you're worried about railroading, which honestly you shouldn't be, don't worry about that. But if you need something to like really, this will help you the most if you're worrying about railroading. Establish multi-narrative. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Johnny Riv. Appreciate that. Establish multiple different plots that they can play with, multiple different plot beats that your players can activate at any given point in time. Some people call it a multi-narrative approach. It just means it's why a lot of games have like side quests. It's why a lot of games have like multiple different main quests. Just give them a whole bunch of options to do. Excellent. No problem. That's a big one. Multiple adventure possibilities at the same time. Okay. Adventure premise. A simple premise might boil down to a magic item that the characters want is hidden away in a dungeon. Go find that magic item. Yeah. Adventure conflict. A single villain or a monster, a villain with lackeys, an assortment of monsters, or an evil organization. Excellent. Adventure situations by level. This is so rad. And it gives you charts. Yes. Yes, indeed. I'm on roll. Oh, no, I can't do that. Damn it. Let's go. If I do this. Okay, I'm over here. I'm going to roll over here. Let's roll a d20. What did I get? I got a 12. Okay, we're back here. 12. Adventure situations for level 1 to 4. To take revenge against a villain for an imagined slight, a necromancer has been animating the corpses in the village cemetery. Very cool. Very cool. That's a good one. Let's do another one. 13 on the next one. An evil cult is spreading in a village. Those who oppose the cult are marked for sacrifice. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, man. Markings on doors, always really creepy. Hey, thanks for the gifted sub. Also, there's 35% off all gifted subs of 5+ or more. By the way, that's happening. Thank you, Jen Riff. Appreciate that. All right, Heroes of the Realm. Let's go to this one. Let's roll in this one. How many we got? We got 20. Awesome. These are just like quick adventure premises to get your brain moving if you're trying to think of things to do. Heroes of the Realm. At this tier, characters undertake adventures that might determine the fate of a region. These adventurers venture into fearsome wilds and ancient ruins. This is the best one. Level 5 to 10. This is the best one. It always is. Let's see. What did I roll? What did I get? I got a 9. After establishing a lair, a young dragon is trying to earn the fear and respect of other creatures living nearby. Oh, cool. So what this does is like establishes a couple things. You've got a dragon, and then you also have other creatures. Maybe you got like a manticore, or you got like owlbears, or something else that needs to be intimidated by a dragon. So you have multiple factions. That's a cool premise. Very cool. Let's do another one. 6. A master thief plans to steal royal regalia. Awesome. Are you working with him? Or are you working against him? Who knows? Now you have like a giant museum or something, or like a governor's mansion that the master thief is trying to steal. Are you trying to prevent it? Maybe you're working for the governor. Maybe you're working with the thief. Maybe you're trying to steal it with him. That's like a big stealth mission. Very cool. I like that a lot. Can you guys see my rolls? You see my rolls, right? Just making sure I'm not screwing up on OBS. Let's do another one on level 5 through 10. These are the best ones. 3. An evil artifact has transformed a forest into a dismal swamp full of horrific monsters. Oh. Man, I'm going to use this chart. This is awesome. This is great. That's really good. Yeah, man. Let's go to Masters of the Realm. So this is levels 11 through 16. This is your tier 3. The death of an ancient dragon can shake the foundations of the world. Look at this badass dragon who's been defeated. This is the fate of the nation. So now we're talking about like nation obstacles. Let's go over here. Rolling a d12 now. They don't give you as many. 8. A storm tears across the land with a mysterious flying citadel in the eye of the storm. Cool. Very cool. Very, very cool. Let's do another one. 7. A castle or city has been drawn into another plane of existence. That's always fun. That's always fun. I'm playing a little bit with that. Spoiler with Mossdale. A little bit with that. Little spoiler. Masters of the World. Now we're in level 17 through 20. This is your tier 4. Oh, interesting to do like 11 through 16. Interesting to do it that way. Like this, it's only 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, all right. This is just D10. Ah. 4. Oh, thank you for that. Something happened? I didn't roll that, did I? Something happened. Oh. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Okay. What did I roll? 3? 4. An ancient artifact has the power to defeat or imprison a rampaging titan. Awesome. Again, this thing gives you 2 things to play with. There is an artifact and there is a titan. Is the rampaging titan good? Is it bad? Who knows? This artifact has the power to defeat it or imprison it. Very cool. Where is this artifact? It could be in another castle, another dungeon, right? Where's the titan? Does it threaten your town? Does it threaten something else? Very cool. These things just like spark a lot of things in your head. Let's do another one. 10. 5 ancient metallic dragons lair in the pillars of creation. If all these dragons are killed, the world will collapse into chaos. One has just been slain. Cool. Yeah, man. That sounds like defending the dragon's nest. Very cool. Adventure setting. Okay. By the way, if you're playing DMG, the core adventure setting they're playing with is Greyhawk, which is one of the oldest settings. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Okay, but this is talking about like the biomes that you're in. Let's see. Writing for yourself. When you're preparing an adventure to run for your friends, you don't need to write hundreds of pages describing each location in exhaustive detail. No, you don't. You can run a game with no more written notes than you'll find in one of the short adventures at the end of this chapter. Cool. That's a good note. An adventure map. Map's an adventure structure. An adventure map can take many forms, from a detailed dungeon map that shows the dimensions and contents of every room to a rough outline of how one encounter might lead to another, depending on the route that the characters choose. Whatever form your map takes, it functions as a flowchart, since each decision point, a branch in a corridor, a room with multiple exits, leads to a new decision point. If a character leaves by a room to the north door, you can check your map and determine it leads into a great hall lined with pillars where the fire giant king holds court. If they leave by the secret door to the southeast, you can check the map and follow the secret tunnel as it winds to the hidden vaults below the great hall. Very cool. Bringing a location alive. This one's a big one. This one's good. An inhabited adventure location has its own ecosystem. The creatures that live there need to eat, drink, breathe, and sleep. Predators need prey, and intelligent creatures search for layers offering the best combination of air, food, water, and security. Keep these factors in mind when designing an adventure location. If the site has an internal logic, adventurers can use their understanding of that logic to make informed decisions. For example, characters who find a pool of fresh water in a dungeon might infer that many of the creatures inhabiting the dungeon will come to that spot to drink. Adventurers might set an ambush at the pool, likewise closed or locked doors can restrict the movement of some creatures. A dungeon infested with carrion crawlers or sturges would need all open passages so that these creatures can move about to find food. Then we get to common map symbols. Awesome. Oh, and it blows it up for you guys. Awesome. These are the map symbols I've been playing with since, oh god, since forever. Open doorway, a door, open doorway, just get rid of the door. Open pit, covered pit, a trap, just big T. Secret door is just an S, absolutely. Secret trap door, oh, I didn't know that. It makes sense though. Trapdoor in the floor, trapdoor in the ceiling, C and F. Elevated ledge, yep. For a fireplace makes sense. Ladder, Very cool. I mean, most of those, like, you can, yeah, they're pretty self-explanatory. Use them. That's what they're there for. They don't have statue. They have statue. There it is. There's statue. Yep. Sinkhole, very cool. Yeah. Okay, adventure inhabitants. Same thing, pretty much, just like make sure they match their terrain. Yeah. Subvert cliches. Okay, as you populate your world with interesting supporting characters, consider the following. Avoiding stereotypes. Show how multiple people from the same culture are different. Don't use a real world accent in a disparaging way. That's a big one, especially if you don't have a good command of the accent. If you don't, it's going to come across as like belittling or you're making fun of it. So I would focus on affectations as opposed to accents, at least when you're getting started. But it doesn't mean don't do it. It just means focus on, you know, someone has a raspy, smoky talk. He's been smoking 2 packs a day. Maybe he's got that in the back of his throat, instead of an accent, or maybe they just talk really slowly and they punctuate all of the consonants. As opposed to going through an accent, do an affectation, do something. How would you describe the way they speak? Give some qualifiers to their speech. Unless you're making fun of the French. Yeah, that's okay. Silly little French. Beautiful diversity. Feature members of different genders, ethnicities, and sexualities, as well as people with varied beliefs, capabilities, roles, professions, interests, and outlooks. Whenever possible, fresh spin. Whenever possible, put a fresh spin on familiar trope. The mysterious figure who presents adventurers with a quest on behalf of the king might be the king in disguise. The wizard in the tower might be a projected illusion created by a band of thieves to guard their loot. Oh, I love that. Yeah, just flip things on its head. A big one is like, I've been like known to like freeze box people, especially like women. Instead flip it. Instead, what that means is like putting women in a cage or put them in a tower. Instead of the princess, make it a prince every now and then, right? Just change things up for the sake of changing it. Relatability. Treat NPCs as real people with real motivations. Put yourself in their shoes. What would you do? Yeah. Yes, indeed. Adventure patrons. Oh, cool. Basically NPCs that give you some hooks. This is just like make a quest giver. That's what this is. This is awesome. Let's roll a die. We have a chart, we're gonna roll a die. 2. Someone the characters want to impress or need a favor from, ask them to deal with the adventure situation. Okay, it's a little blasé, looks like another one. 2. Keep rolling 2. 6. The adventurers are arrested on valid or invented charges and offered a chance to escape punishment by completing a quest. Cool. Yeah, Captain the Guard given a quest. Cool. I love it. Ooh, look at this picture. Oh. We got some frogmen attacking some yuan tea, maybe? It's kind of, the representation is really cool. It's really fun. When rival factions inhabit a ruined dungeon, sometimes the best course is to stay out of the way. Yeah. Supernatural hooks. What? While preparing spells, one character receives a quest from a god or a patron. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, you don't need a quest giver. Sometimes the quest giver is God. We're on a mission from God. 3. A fortune teller's reading for one of the characters points to a quest and offers hints about challenges that lie ahead. I mean, that's just straight up Strahd. That's just straight up Strahd. Happenstance hooks. Sometimes characters just happen on an adventure through sheer coincidence. Happenstance. On their D6. 2. The characters are on unrelated quests, such as searching for a particular magic item that leads them into the adventure situation. Cool. Yeah. Sometimes you're on a quest and it leads you to another one. Plan encounters. Encounters are the individual scenes in a larger story of your adventure. Reduced to fundamentals, an encounter is an objective with an obstacle. Yep. It accomplishes one or more of the following: moving characters closer to achieving a goal, frustrating the character's progress toward a goal, revealing new information. Character objectives: make peace, protect an NPC or object, retrieve an object, run a gauntlet, sneak in, stop a ritual, take out a single target. Oh, look at this picture. Oh god, this art is so cool. This is Goblin Raiders prepare an ambush in a gorge. Oh god, that's awesome. Look at these bastards, they're trying to push this rock. We got a Goliath Berserker. We got some type of ranger. We got a druid just playing with the plants over here. And then we have some type of, like, I don't know, maybe warrior, maybe, I don't know, this elf looks like a roguish, I guess. It's very cool. Look how cool these goblins look. Their ears are so long. They are definitely fake creatures now. And they are fake creatures in the new manual. They're fake, which I approve of. I like that. And gnolls are demons, because they should be demons. Keep the adventure moving. Advisor NPCs. A helpful NPC in a social interaction can offer advice and suggestions to the characters. Cool. Evil intrusion. If things start grinding to a halt, have the characters encounter a minion or monster connected to the adventure's main threat. Yeah. I put those in. I just put those, just pepper them into the campaign. Make sure the main quest is always at the back of their mind. The DM's role. If the characters can't figure out how to solve an encounter or unsure what to do next, you can remind the players of things that the characters have already learned, or call for intelligence investigation or similar checks to see if their characters can remember and connect things that the players might be missing. Sometimes those rolls fail, and you need to do even more, though. Sometimes those rolls just peter out. That's okay, though. Okay. An adventure that includes something for everyone. An adventure that includes a balance of exploration, social interaction, and combat is likely to appeal to a wide breadth of players. But an adventure you create for your home campaign doesn't have to appeal to every possible player interest, only to the players at your table. Yep. Although it's a little different for me, because my player base is literally a lot wider. So I kind of have to I try to hit more of exploration and social, or at least I'm learning to try to hit more of those, as opposed to just hitting combat. Okay, multiple ways of progress. Yes, indeed. Exploration encounters. An exploration encounter centered on exploration might involve the characters trying to disarm a trap, find a secret door, or discover something about the adventure location. An exploration encounter could also involve the character spending a day crossing a rolling plain or traversing vast caverns. Ooh. Combat encounters. Changes in elevation, defensive positions, hazards. Yep, we talked about hazards. That's in Chapter 3. Mixed monster groups. Yep. Reasons to move. Oh, cool. Yeah. Use features that encourage characters and their enemies to move around, such as chandeliers, kegs of gunpowder or oil, or rolling stone traps. If you just watched the last Azure Sky, there were kegs of what did I call it? Acidic bang dust. A lot of acid bombs, a lot of acid kegs all over the place. Made for a fun encounter. Ooh, combat difficulty. Low difficulty. Encounter of low difficulty is likely to have 1 or 2 scary moments for the players, but their characters should emerge victorious with no casualties. Moderate difficulty. Absent healing and other resources, encounter of moderate difficulty could go badly for the adventurers. Weaker characters might get taken out of the fight, and there's a slim chance that 1 or more characters might die. High difficulty. High difficulty could be lethal for 1 or more characters. To survive it, the characters will need smart tactics, quick thinking, and maybe even a little luck. Okay, XP budget. I don't use these, guys. I'm done with doing all this crazy math to do this kind of thing. I just kind of wing it. I just wing it. I probably shouldn't, but honestly, this is a lot more work than it's worth. I really don't. Oh God, look at this. Look at this. It's just a nightmare. No, I won't do it. I won't. I'm skipping you, even though this is a cool skeleton. Oh, look at him. Water. Monster behavior. Ooh, look at these kobolds build a barricade to keep adventurers at bay. They're building a wall full of wood and rubble. Great. Yeah, it makes sense. Little bastards. Initial attitude, cool, you can use that if you need to. Ooh, monster personality. 7. Jocular, taunts enemies. Monster relationships, what? 6. One monster bullies the others, it forces them into danger, but they want it defeated. Whoa. This is cool. This is cool. It's just giving you different little crunchy things within a monster faction. 2 monsters have a bitter rivalry. Each wants the other to suffer. Wow. Yeah, man. Don't be afraid to put that stuff in the game. Yeah, I need to put more of that. That's awesome. Reactive tactics, ambush, fortify, hide, flee, investigate, prepared defenders. I mean, a lot of this is kobolds, honestly. It's a lot of kobolds. Encounter pace and tension, vary encounter type. It just means mix it up. Mix up your encounter types, mix up your difficulties, mix up your threats. Yeah. Let's see. Urgency, Trey says, bro, nah, bro, your campaigns are so playable because you use milestone. Hey, man, it's just quicker. XP is more fun, but milestone's a lot quicker. It's so much easier. Easing up on urgency and rest. Oh, let me read about this. Okay, while successful encounters increase tension, taking a short rest relaxes the tension somewhat, as characters have a chance to replenish some of their resources. And many adventures, though, the characters and their players have a sense that they need to act quickly to deal with the situation presented by the adventure. This creates tension between the need to rest and the sense that things are really getting worse while the characters are resting. You can influence the pace and tension of your adventure by determining where and when the characters can rest. If the character is exploring a vast dungeon, consider scattering a few small rooms with only one door, where the characters can bar the door and reasonably expect to spend an hour, even a night, resting in safety. On the flip side, cautious characters might try to take a short rest between every encounter, never really straining their resources. It's okay to interrupt these rests once in a while to maintain a sense of tension or to heighten the urgency, making it clear that even an hour spent resting could jeopardize their chances of successes. I just say you can only rest 2 times between each long rest, just to get rid of those like really overcautious players who just rest all the time. And then some dungeons you just can't long rest. You just can't. It is possible to design the urgency to the point that players feel they don't have time to investigate the interesting details they encounter in the world. When this happens, consider using a helpful NPC to take some of the pressure off. A wise elder might advise them that the situation is not as urgent as they fear. A whimsical fae being might use magical mischief to force them to slow down. Or a kindly celestial could tell them they're taking the concern of the mortal world just a bit too seriously. Interesting. Random encounters. Look at this. Beautiful. Mysterious lights glimmer in a remote mountain lake, drawing adventurers to explore. Yes, yes, indeed. Okay, random encounters. What do we got? Yeah, exactly, Trey. Yeah, yeah, that's okay. You're gonna be okay. Um, let's see. Random encounters. They're just talking about like what this does. It creates urgency. It drains your character resources. It establishes atmosphere. Yep. It provides assistance. Some random encounters can benefit. That's right. Think of encounters as events. Encounter feels like combat. Events feels like it could be anything. Think of random events that could happen. Should you want to pepper them in there? Reinforce campaign themes. Remember your main theme when you design encounters. Remember your main. It doesn't mean you have to use it. Just remember it. Your main quest. Bring it to an end. Ooh. Climactic ending of an adventure fulfills the promise of all that came before. The best climax is the one that players see coming. So if a dragon is the mastermind behind all the nefarious activity happening in an adventure, having the dragon's minions mention the nature of their boss sets up the coming climactic encounter. Let's roll in this bad boy. We got a D10. 2. The adventurers chase a villain while dodging obstacles designed to thwart them, leading to a final confrontation in the villain's refuge. Indeed, you got a chase scene. We discussed chase scenes in one of the other tricks of the trade. Chase scenes are great, really easy to do. You just kind of just manage the speeds and put obstacles in the way. That's it. That's a chase scene. It's more about the obstacles than the speed, honestly. Let's do another one. No, can't do that. 7. A portal opens to another plane of existence. Creatures on the other side spill out, forcing the adventurers to close the portal while dealing with a villain at the same time. Oh, that's good. That's a good one. Denouement. That's a French word for it's over. In most stories, there's a period after the climax in which loose plot threads are tied up and everything is explained. An adventure might also include this kind of denouement. Time to discover what treasures in the dragon's hoard, an award ceremony where the queen gives medals to the victorious heroes, or even time to mourn adventuring companions who didn't survive the battle. Excellent. Adventure rewards. Ooh, chapter 7 marks of prestige, or chapter 3, okay. Individual treasure, cool. Cool. Ooh, they switched to platinum pieces, okay. Treasure hoards, cool. Determined by CR, cool. Oh, look at this picture. A climactic battle at the Temple of Elemental Evil brings an adventure to a dramatic end. Great game, by the way. Temple of Elemental Evil. It is unfinished. I mean, they finished it, but when you get to the lower levels of Elemental Evil, you will see how it was quickly done. It was quickly finished. Still a good game. Let's see. Look at this. Awesome. Monster treasure preferences, any. Cool. Adventure examples. Ooh, this is going to give you actual adventures. Oh my god. Oh my god. I kind of want people to go read these. This is like spoiler territory where like I would read this and then give away some of the stuff inside of it. Just so you know, they're giving you adventure examples inside chapter 4 of the DMG. So if you're looking for literal like how to plot these adventures, like literal specifics of the adventures, go check this out because this is awesome. I've already read this. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I'll just tell you that it's pretty great, and you can make some adventures with this. They keep it pretty simple, but still detailed enough for you. Here's Minx at a boreal ball. Cool. This fake creature wishes to dance with me. Boo! What should I do? There, that's Minx. If you don't know who Minsk is, you haven't played the original Baldur's Gate, and you should do that. Okay. Encounters. Oh, that's still the same thing. Okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to end it there. I'm not going to go over those adventures, but now we're going to go and create a monster. That has been creating adventures, guys. Honestly, great chapter. All these chapters are like A to A+. Some of them are S tier. They're rocking out. The DMG knows what they're doing. It's a lot better than the 2014 version. Let's go create a monster. Okay, so the idea was Trey wants me to create... Oh, no. Oh, no, we're good. Trey wants me to create a Bearstein Chair. It is a chair made of stuffed teddy bears. So I'm imagining just a horrific mess of stuffed animals empowered by eldritch magic, probably necromantic something to do. I'm gonna create a construct. It feels like a construct of stuffed animals. So let's do that. Let's do that right now. Okay, and I made a map which is just like a creepy basement, which is probably where you'll find this like enormous rocking chair that is made of stuffed teddy bears. You know, it's probably crafted from the tears of children who had their teddy bears ripped from them, or, you know, the teddy bears have the souls of orphans who died from loneliness or something. So it's probably an evil thing, or probably something, well, it's gonna have some abilities. Let's just create this. Let's do this. Creating a Bearstein Chair. So let's go to character. We're gonna add a character. We're gonna call it Bearstein Chair. I'm gonna click on this token. I'm gonna say use selected token. There we go. Save. I'm going to create an NPC. That's the easiest way to do this on Roll20. We're gonna call this a Bearstein Chair. I'm gonna say it's a large construct. Large construct. AC, I don't think it's very high AC. I'm thinking we use like a flesh golem as a basis for this, so AC will be pretty low. I'll say AC like 11. It's stuffed teddy bears, guys. Like, shouldn't be too high. It's a chair full of stuffed teddy bears. Hit points, this can go pretty high. It's a large thing. Let's make it kind of spooky. So let's go to like, I don't know. Let's start with 95. I'm not trying to create the highest CR thing because it's a little silly. So let's make it, let's say that it doesn't go very fast. It's still a chair. So good speed is 20 feet. Its strength is stronger than you would imagine. This thing has an 18 strength. Its dex is not great because it's a freaking chair. Its con is way more than it should be. Intelligence 12. Why not? It has the memories of children in it. Let's not make things too stupid these days. Let's not do that anymore. Wisdom, yeah, let's bring that up. Charisma, let's give it charisma too. Not 114, it's 14. Let's do that. Saves you don't have to do. You can just kind of click their abilities. If you wanted higher saves, you can do that. Let's give it. No, we're going to give it magic resistance, so we don't have to worry about that. Damage vulnerabilities. I mean, it could be vulnerable to fire, but fire is so good, right? Let's say it's not vulnerable to anything. What is it resistant to? Dozens of tiny paws. 3 party at most. Okay, lower level party. Dozens of tiny paws. Creepy. Okay. Vulnerable to acid. We could do that. That's kind of fun. All right, vulnerable to acid. Resistant. Let's say. You know what? Let's say they're resistant to like fire and cold. Just cause. Damage immunities, you can just put like construct immune. And that, I mean, that might not help you out too much. I would say like charm, exhaustion, etc. Like they're immune to things that you couldn't do. They're immune to things that you wouldn't be able to normally do to a chair, right? Think of it that way. Dark vision, 60 feet. Languages, it does not speak. Challenge rating, I don't know yet. Don't know what the challenge rating might be. Okay, so let's go make this dude. Advantage toggle, auto roll, cool. So that's all done, right? Done with that. Now we can go to add things to it. Let's add some attacks and stuff. Poison immunity too? Oh yeah, you're right. It would have poison immunity. Immune. Poison, poisoned. Yeah. It is a construct, so it probably has like the, I forget what it's called, but the, why am I doing this? Just do what I tell you. Go look up flesh golem. No, not right there. Best way to do this. Flesh golem, the new Monster Manual 2024 flesh golem. Let's look it up. See what we got going on here. Okay. Oh, badass. That is a badass. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So we got pretty much the same things. Lightning absorption, same thing. Immutable form. Yeah, we still want to give it immutable form. Can't shapeshift. The golem can't shapeshift. Interesting. That's real shorthand. That also means like you can't polymorph or anything like that. That's what that means. Magic resistance. So advantage saving throws versus spells. Done there. Yes. Berserk. We don't need berserk. It's not something that comes up too much. Not version of fire. Don't need that. Okay, so let's get to its attacks. I'm gonna say its attack is called Bear Hug. It tries to hug you as a chair. Tiny Claw, Tiny Bear Hug. Oh no, just Bear Hug. Attack. It does, let's say if it's for plus, okay, so let's make it a +6. If it's for tier 1, if we're trying to challenge level 3 characters, does enlarge reduce? Yes, it does. Yep, it's immutable form. Its form cannot change. Yeah. Uh, 1D Bear Hug. Let's call it a 1D8. Yeah, no, 1D10. That doesn't sound good, actually. 1D10 plus 4. This thing can hurt you. Bludgeoning. Yeah, so it does that damage. Tiny stuffed bear claws pull you in for a hug. The target, if hit, the target has disadvantage. So this is just an auto effect. Has disadvantage on attacks versus the Bearstein Chair. Yeah. And then you can add a joke here as well, because the characters will see this. You wouldn't hurt a cute bear, would you? Tiny stuffed claws pull you in for a hug. If hit, the target has a disadvantage on attacks versus the Bearstein Chair until the end of the next until the end of the next turn. Until the end of the target's next turn. You wouldn't hurt a cute bear, would you? Yeah. There you go. Needs an ability called Recline, where grabs you and forces you prone. Let's see. That's bear hug. That's its like attack. I'll say it gets. Let's just give it one of those, but then we'll give it some other stuff too. It's got a Bearstein Chair stare. Anyone who starts their turn within 30 feet of the chair must make a wisdom / charisma. You just put the DC right there. Let's make the DC equal to their con plus the 5. That's 13? Yeah. Wisdom, charisma 13, or let's make it an emotional thing because it's an adorable chair stare. What could the chair stare do? Help me out, chat. They have a Bearstein Chair stare. If you start your turn within 30 feet of this Bearstein chair, what does it do to you? Charmed? Nasty. Or be charmed for a turn. Unless surprised, you may avert your eyes. The target may avert their eyes, but then are blinded for that turn, for that round. So unless surprised, the target may avert their eyes for the round, but then are blinded. But then that target is blinded, but then that target is blinded. Is blinded for that round. It's a typical thing in D&D. Like, you can avert your eyes, but then you're blinded. How about a stain effect? Anyone trying to recall facts about it becomes confused because they definitely used to be an entirely different name. Anyone trying to recall facts about it becomes confused because they definitely used to be an entirely different named creature. Yeah. Oh, man. Let's see. That works. I think Bearstein Chair stare. That's not an action, though. This is like... So this technically should be over here. Crap. That should be over here, not an action, but whatever. It's fine. That's just like an ability they have. You really should put it over here. It's fine. Oh, I can do that. Watch. Why don't I just do this? Copy. Bearstein Chair stare. Boom. And then you go over here. Give me another action for this creature to have. What is the next action for this creature to have? You can delete it that way. Okay. Okay. You could suffer exhaustion. It's a chair after all. Something to do with sit with us. Come sit with us. Man, that's creepy. Come sit with us. And this will be a recharge ability, right? Recharge 5 to 6. That way you don't do it all. You don't spam it. It gives you a command. Yes, it does. Commands you wisdom save. Target one creature. What's up? Target 2 creatures. Why is it always 1? Target, maybe creatures within a cone? That's kind of fun. Target all creatures within a 30-foot cone. They must make a wisdom. I like wisdom charisma or wisdom intelligence. I like to give people the option to roll. Wisdom charisma 13, or be commanded to do nothing but walk towards the chair and sit. Yeah. A love seat. Well, it's large. It's a large Bearstein chair. So well, that's a good idea. So the chair can comfortably seat up to 4 creatures. It's a big old chair. And then let's have something Bearstein chair, like it's a whole bunch of bears. So what if they bite you while you're sitting? Like it's a whole bunch of little stuffed teddy bears. Or tiny bear claws. Tiny bear claws. Yeah. An ability of someone is sitting. Yeah. So it'll be a passive ability they have if you're sitting in the chair. If a target is sitting in the chair, target is sitting in the Bearstein chair, they take, you just take this damage. They take 2d4, which is 5. 2d4 piercing damage, slashing damage. From tiny bear claws. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So come sit with us is target all creatures within a 30-foot cone. They must make a Wisdom Charisma 13 or be commanded to do nothing but walk towards the chair and sit. The chair can comfortably seat with 4 creatures. If a target is sitting in the Bearstein chair, they take 5 2d4 slashing damage from tiny bear claws. Terrifying. Yikes. Okay. There we have our Bearstein chair. So what we do now is we get rid of Felskull, we go to the Bearstein chair. We don't need that. We select it, and we go, this represents Bearstein chair, right? And then we put in our hit points. I usually put them in red. Our AC in green. Very low AC, yeah. There's our Bearstein chair. Look at that. So now, when you alt left click your Bearstein chair, it brings up these things, and you can go into your dude and give a bear hug, right? There it is. There it is. Come sit with us. Bearstein chair's there. Excellent. There, that's a Bearstein's chair. That's how it's done. Ryan, if you want to draw us a Bearstein chair, I mean, this is just like pulled art from the greater World Wide Web. But if you want to draw us a terrifying large Bearstein chair that has these abilities, that'd be super rad. I love a shirt made with a Bearstein chair. That'll do it, folks. That'll do it for Tricks of the Trade. Thank you for watching. Very much appreciate it. Let's go back over here. Yeah. That'll be it, folks. Next up for this coming week, it is we're 30th, right? Yeah, tomorrow is PvP. We got 8 p.m. of PvP Battle Royale, so come play if you want to. That is a Battle Royale PvP at 8 p.m. We already have 4 or 5 players, so come jump in. I'll take up to like 8 players at a time. Come play. That shirt says come sit with us 100%. Yeah. Yes, Ryan, that's still got openings. Come play. Come play. It's all level 7 monks. It is March Monk Madness on the 31st of March. Come play PvP. Yeah? Ari, if you're coming to play, let me know too. If you want to create a level 7 monk. That'll be like 7 of you. If you all come play, come play. I think Kyle is coming to play as well, so let me know. All right, folks, that's it. I'll bring you to... That's not a one-shot, Art, or Ryan. That's PvP. The one-shot is not... The one-shot's probably not happening tomorrow. I don't think I have enough people. But I'll push that until the 7th. Yeah. Only monks tomorrow. Only monks. March Monk Madness. Only monks for the PvP tomorrow. Create your best monk. All right, everybody. That's it. I will see you I'll see you tomorrow for PvP, and then come join us. We are playing Tomb of Annihilation on the 3rd, so come check us out for that. Yeah. All right. Peace out, folks.